認。一瞬いけるぜ。
視線を制したぞ。
おお、瞬殺だぜ。
来い。食らえ。
敵はあと少しだ。畳みかけろ。余裕な勝利ってやつだな。やっちゃう。
おれ、まだ来るか。
延長してる敵がいる。疾風が格列で追撃だ。
ペルソナーいただいていく。
敵あとちょっと。一気にやっちゃおう。
消えろ。
How's it going, everyone? Today I'm going to be showing you the full fusion recipe for the Black Frost build I used for Merciless difficulty. Black Frost is a fantastic persona in Persona 5 Strikers that is easy to build and can keep enemies locked down through various status ailments. By transferring Freeze Boost, Black Frost gains the ability to freeze enemies with his main element of Frost very consistently. His damage is then boosted by transferring Ice Boost and Ice Amp. Top things off with Spellmaster and Enduring Soul and you'll have a hard-hitting persona that will make sure you're always topped up on SP while being incredibly tanky in the process. Additionally, Black Frost's combos are pretty nice as well. Evil Smile is another status ailment that can be applied via combos, allowing us to free up a slot in his skill kit. And Mabufudine allows Black Frost to freeze enemies and deal ice damage without expending SP. If you really wanted to, you could replace Enduring Soul with Fear Boost in order to increase the effectiveness of Evil Smile, but I personally don't think it's worth it. Still, that option is there. Oh, and perhaps the best thing about Black Frost is perma-freezing the Reaper. That never gets old. Now I should mention that the actual fusion footage shown will be done using the Japanese version of the game. This is for two main reasons. First, I've completed the game on the JP version and thus have everything necessary. And second, while I have the PC version of the Western release, I encountered an infinite black loading screen bug which halted my progress. And while this issue has been resolved, I have been playing Bravely Default 2 and thus have not caught up to the point where I can make these build guides on the English version. That being said, I will be walking you through the fusion process step by step and all relevant information will be displayed in English. Oh, and if you like what I'm doing with these videos, be sure to leave a like on the video and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I'll have more Persona build guides coming out soon as I showcase how to build each of the Persona I used for my Merciless playthrough. And of course, if you have any questions about this video, Persona 5 Strikers, or any other game that I cover, you can always hit me up over on Twitch at twitch.tv/RosalindGaming or on my Discord server, both of which are linked in the video description. So with that out the way, let's build ourselves an awesome Black Frost. Alright, so to start this off, we need to pull out an Alice and a Pisaka. I've already done that just in case. I will show you them. Now, this is the Alice, this is the Pisaka. The Alice just needs to be level 90 because we're interested in Spellmaster. So if your Alice isn't level 90, go ahead and level up to level 90. And then we're going to be fusing these two together to make a Mokoi. We're going to be passing down Spellmaster here. Nothing else really matters. That's really the only thing we're concerned about at this point. Okay. And now I need to pull out a bicorn, so I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, so I pulled out that bicorn, and we're going to be fusing the bicorn that we just pulled out and the Mokoi together in order to make a slime. And we're going to be passing down Spellmaster. Alright, and then for the next step, I need to pull out a Huapo, so I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, so I pulled out the Huapo. We're going to be fusing that slime that we just made in the Huapo together in order to make a Lamia. And we're going to be passing down Spellmaster as the main one that we're concerned about here. Alright, so now we have that. We need to pull out a High Pixie, so I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, so I pulled out that High Pixie. We're going to be fusing the High Pixie and the Lamia together in order to make a Jack Frost. And we're going to be passing down Spellmaster. Alright, and now I need to pull out a Pixie, so I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, so I pulled that Pixie out, and we're going to be fusing the Pixie and the Jack Frost together in order to make a Jack-o'-lantern, and we're going to be passing down Spellmaster. Alright, so for the next step, I need to get out a Cerberus, so I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, so I pulled that Cerberus out. Now we do need to level this Cerberus up to level 59. This is in order to learn Enduring Soul. Alright. And now for the next step of the fusion, I also need to pull out a Shisa, so I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick as well. Alright, so I pulled out that Shisa, and we're going to be fusing the Cerberus and the Shisa together in order to make a slime, and we're going to be passing down Enduring Soul. Alright, and for the next step, I need to pull out a Huapo again, so I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, so I pulled out that Huapo, and we're going to be fusing the slime and the Huapo together to make Lamia again, this time passing down the Enduring Soul. Alright, and next I need to pull out High Pixie again, so I'm going to do that real quick. Alright, so I pulled out that High Pixie, and we're going to be fusing the High Pixie with the Lamia to make Jack Frost again. We're going to be passing down Enduring Soul. Alright, and at this step, we need to level up the Jack Frost and the Jack-o'-lantern. The Jack-o'-lantern and the Jack Frost need to go to level 45 each. Let's go ahead and do that. In the process of doing this, we just want to make sure we also are keeping Ice Boost on Jack Frost. Just in case yours had more skills, you want to make sure that you keep the Ice Boost. Alright, and then you also want to register both of these persona to the compendium. So make sure you're doing that. Okay. And now that we've done that, we need to use these two to make a King Frost. And here it doesn't matter what we pass down, because it just doesn't matter. What we're after off King Frost is going to be Ice Amp, so just fuse a King Frost here. And now that we have that King Frost fused, we do need to level him up to 68 for that Ice Amp that we are currently after from him. Oops, don't want to go back out that far. Alright, and now we need to pull out the Jack Frost and the Jack-o'-lantern that we registered. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, so I pulled those two out, and we're going to use them in the King Frost to make a Black Frost. Now, I should say here that if you did not end up with 8 abilities on your Jack-o'-lantern and your Jack Frost, you will need to use just some random skill card to give them 8 abilities. Whether or not you end up with 8 or 7 on them, it's going to be dependent on what was used to fuse these in the first place. It's going to be different for everybody. Just make sure that if they're not at 8 abilities, just use a random skill card. It literally doesn't matter. The only reason that we are doing this is so that all 3 of these persona have 8 abilities, so that we can pass down 5 abilities to this Black Frost. So, speaking of which, we are going to be passing down Spellmaster and Freeze Boost, Enduring Soul, Ice Boost, and Ice Amp. Alright, and the last step is to level this up to 72. And we're going to learn Soul Steal, Ailment Boost, and Diamond Dust. Alright, and that is the completed persona. Now, if you wanted to use Ice Age over Diamond Dust, there really isn't much of a difference between the two outside of the range that they give you. You can pass down Ice Age instead and not use Diamond Dust. If you were to do that though, you will need to use a skill card, most likely for Freeze Boost or Ice Boost. So if you want to use Diamond Dust, just know you will need to use a skill card for one of those two and then pass down Diamond Dust instead. But I don't see the point. I just do it this way, use Diamond Dust instead of Ice Age, and you are good to go. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the persona. It's really awesome. You can lock down most enemies in the game. Like I said, it's really fun to perma-freeze the Reaper and basically kill him without him ever getting to do anything. You can restore your SP like mad by just using combos into his Mabufudyne, freeze everything, get a bunch of SP back. It's an incredibly useful persona. But yeah, we'll move on to the next one in the next few days. Probably going to end up doing Forneus or Norn next. Haven't decided, but probably Forneus. That's the one I'm leaning towards. So if you haven't subscribed, be sure to do so you can get notified when that build comes out. And yeah, hope you enjoy the build and hope to see you for the next video.